Hey, welcome everybody to the live stream. I'm Sunshine Shoulders. I want to welcome special guest Chocolate Man in Thailand. I appreciate everybody for joining the live stream. This is my first trip over here to Thailand, man. I've had a blast. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Lee. He's been my driver, my tour guide, bodyguard, everything, man. He's the hookup over here. He's the Thai guy. The hookup. If you want girls, you want the best food, the best bars, nightclubs. He knows what's going on. I'm gonna do a little short interview with him later to kind of introduce y'all to him. I just want to do this before we get started. The Thai baht is 35.35 to $1, and to my viewers in the Philippines, it's 54.46 pesos to the dollar, which is the highest I've ever seen it, Chocolate Man. So we got our Thailand expert with us. He's going to kind of school us on Thailand, man, because he's a unique individual, man. He lived for years in the Philippines, and he's lived years here in Thailand. So he can really, we're not going to compare him because there's no comparison. You can't compare Thailand to Philippines. That wouldn't even be fair. They're totally two different places. Hell, this place puts some Western countries to shame. What do you think, Chocolate Man?
Yeah, that's how it is, man. We got infrastructure on lock here in Thailand. I'll give it that. But yeah, again, you can't really compare Thailand and Philippines. It really is just what is your preferred flavor. You know, you got to decide. You got to come over here and try them both and see which one really works for you.
Yeah, so give us a little background.
Right, man. So, yeah, 23 years Air Force. Been traveling overseas since who knows when. I've been doing overseas since like 20 years ago. And yeah, man, after 23 years in the Air Force, I knew I wanted to live overseas. I didn't really want to live back in the States. That really wasn't for me. Can't really afford it anyway. But yeah, I was like, as soon as I came out the military, I was in Hawaii, retired, and literally within 24 hours of me retiring, I was in the Philippines. So that started my overseas living journey.
So how long did you live in the Philippines?
So I was there for about let me see, almost 3 years. Almost 3 years. Yep. I jumped out right before I hit my 3-year mark. I was in Angeles City the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Angeles, baby. Yeah, I got a lot of retired military, retired cops, truck drivers, who name it. They got them as friends over there in the Philippines. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be the most comfortable living over there. So I'm like, hey, let me go over there and try living there. But I did it just like every newbie does. I went over there and thought, hey, this is gonna be my forever home. So I got there, got me a crib, filled it up with all kinds of stuff that I didn't really need, and I was acting like, yeah, I'm gonna be in the Philippines for the rest of my life, That was kind of a mistake on my part because I never actually lived. I visited more times than I can count, but I never lived there. And it's completely different when you move there. So, but that's life, man.
So let me ask you, what is it about the Philippines you didn't like that made you come to Thailand?
It's not so much about what I didn't like in the Philippines. It's what I preferred more in Thailand. That's basically what it comes down to. I was more comfortable living in Thailand once I moved to Thailand for a little while and actually, tried living here for a little bit. I was just more comfortable in Thailand. Again, don't want to get into that comparison thing. It's just for me, more comfortable here. Like just infrastructure wise, just, I don't know, just the way they do construction, just the way they do this, they do that, like it just, I don't know. The availability of the types of food I want to eat or, just feeling more comfortable when I go out or being around water. Like here, in Angeles City, I'm landlocked. I live in the middle of a valley or on a plateau. What is it? AC is more of a plateau. So I live on a plateau with the heat coming down. I'm surrounded by, mountains and all that. And not really living near the water. Here at Pattaya, I'm right on the beach, baby. It takes me 2 minutes to get to the beach. So a little different, different.
I tell you what, man, just talking to you yesterday, it gave me a different view of Pattaya because it's more than sex over here, man. You know that, right? I would
100%, man.
pay,
I got a whole channel built on it.
yeah, I would pay just for the view that we had yesterday. I would pay to come to Pattaya just for that. I mean, it's an unbelievable view. We sitting at the red steps, the little restaurant, drinking coffee, drinking water, just chopping it up, man. I was like, man, I really felt like I was on vacation, man. And you know, this boulevard, I guess they call it boulevard. What's this, Beach Road or something?
Beach Road, yes, sir.
Yeah, it puts any of that Walking Street and Soy 6 and all that. It really puts it to shame, really. If I could get me a place around here for about 400 or 500 US dollars, man, I would be all in. But tell us about the visa process. Is it now, you know, in the Philippines you get 3 years once you touch down. What's the situation
Pretty
here?
much. Right, right. And again, that's one of them things where the Philippines is going to get you all day. You know, they got that easy visa. It's no drama. You pay your little money, whatever, and you got your few years there. Here in Thailand, it's a little different. You know, if you're under 50, you got very limited options. You're probably going to end up with some kind of education visa, or you're going to have to do baller style like me and get an elite visa. With, you know, the price of that visa ain't cheap. Right now, it's 600,000 baht. So that ain't gonna be for everybody, but it is a drama-free visa for 5 years. You can actually go a lot longer than that if you want, but of course for a lot more money. Other cats can do education visa though. Education visa is not gonna cost you anywhere near that kind of money, but it's only good for a year. So you're gonna have to deal with that year after year with that problem. Now, if you're over 50, you can do a retirement visa, which is, you know, still something you're gonna have to do year to year, but it's not a lot of drama. It's got a few requirements, but you know, overall, that's what most guys over 50 do here in Thailand. A lot of cats get married too. That's another way to get a visa. I wouldn't do it for a visa, but you know, if you have a significant other, that is another way to stay in the country. So, but that's kind of the short and skinny on how the visa process works. But it is a little more challenging than the Philippines. Yep, I definitely have to concede that.
Yeah. How do you get around that language barrier? You know, because people, you know, I was talking to you about that yesterday, and you said it's no problem, but it seems like everywhere I go, I went to the bank to try to send myself some money from Zoom, right? And man, it was a catastrophe. Nobody in the bank could speak English. And the lady said I couldn't send money to myself. And I was trying to explain to her, I said, ma'am, I do this every single day. Yeah, well, you know, not every single day, but, you know, all the time in the Philippines. What do you mean I can't send money to myself? And it was a catastrophe, man. I ended up leaving and I canceled it. And then I sent it Western Union, which was no problem.
Right, right. Yeah, Zoom isn't very popular here. Most people here use Wise to transfer money from their stateside accounts to the Thailand. That's the most common way to do it here because it's in the Swift system. So that's what they prefer here. I'm not sure what Zoom uses, but here they like Wise. So that's the most common system here. Yeah, running into the language barrier. Yeah, I mean, you're going to run into it more here than you would in the Philippines, but you just learn to deal with it. You just learn to roll with it. Usually in expat areas like this, it's not hard to find someone who speaks English. It's not. You know, I don't know why that bank you went to, whatever branch you went to, I have no idea why nobody there actually spoke English. That's definitely rare. Usually in businesses and things like that, especially like more commercial businesses, there's almost always somebody who has a pretty good grasp on English because they know they're dealing with so many expats here. You know, there's hundreds of thousands of expats in this general area. So there's got to be somebody who can deal with us. So that's really surprising that you had that issue.
Yeah, it was at the government savings bank, and it was at this. Okay, we were on our way to drop Eric Terry off at the airport. So it was somewhere in between Bangkok and the airport. It was closer to the airport. It's a mall out there, and we was on the second floor, man. I tell you, it was bad, but you know, I got through it. But I know that Mr. Lee, he uses a translator. on his phone.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. You
Do
run
you
into
have to
that.
do
Yeah.
that?
It sounds
Yeah,
like you might have been a little bit on the outskirts there. So you got to stick to more of the expat areas to get that good English. So that's probably something you should have done when you got into Pattaya. Probably would have been a little easier experience. So it doesn't surprise me if you were out like somewhere in between here and Bangkok. Yeah, there's a good chance where they don't see a whole lot of expats and nobody had a grasp of
yeah.
English. But yeah,
Hey,
again,
thank
something you have to concede here is that English is not going to be always the easiest thing to communicate with here.
right. Thanks, Coach Eastmore, for that super chat. He's my friend down in Orlando, Florida, man. These guys in Orlando, a lot of guys from Florida. Where are you originally from over in the States, Chocolate Man?
Yeah, I mean, I always got to say I'm from Washington State, but I ain't lived there since the early '90s. So I kind of count the world as my experience. You know, I left home in the early '90s and never looked back. So
Wow. See, you were way ahead of the game, man. And
right.
I have to tip my hat to you to say you saw something at an early age that made you get the hell out of there. Because that's my only regret is that I stayed too long. You know, uh, I left out at 55. And I can honestly say, man, I'm never going back. I don't know
Mm,
what it would be to make me go back. It would have to be one of my kids got sick. I mean, I go back to visit, but I mean to live. And I'd have to take care of one of my children or something like that. But other than that, man, I'm done with that Western lifestyle over
mm-mm.
there. It was killing me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. I'm 100% with you, man. It's just like it's gonna take a lot. I'm always gonna love home. I love America, love my country, but yeah, I mean, it ain't really set up for me to live there anymore. So I didn't make it that way. So I was like, I had to do what I had to do. You know, I come over here, watch my dollar go a lot farther, a lot less stress. Is the worst thing I do in the day here is drive. That's the only scary thing I do. Other than that, it's pretty much stress free.
Yeah. Now, you told me that you drove all over the Philippines.
Yes, sir.
So you drive over here.
Yeah, I do drive over here. Like in the Philippines, right from the jump. I started with a scooter in the Philippines for about a month. I just rented one, and I was like, "Nah, this ain't for me." I felt like somebody gonna kill me on that damn scooter. So I ended up buying a car. Got me a little Tucson, little what are those things? I forgot who makes them, but a Hyundai, little Hyundai Tucson. I love that little truck too. My boy actually still holding on to it in the Philippines, driving around all over the place. But yeah, I love that little truck. I drove it everywhere. It was and again, driving over here, Philippines, Thailand, wherever either one of them is going to scare the hell out of you to drive in. So it's like,
Yeah.
you just got to get used to it. But I kind of like being in control. I didn't really like riding in minivans, anything like that. I've never taken a bus in either country. I just don't do buses. I just like kind of being in control. So yeah, it's an experience. But you are taking a big risk driving.
One of my Filipino subscribers, man, she just lost her 16-year-old daughter. They were coming back from a fiesta. She's on the back of the motorcycle or the motorbike, and the young boy, they were both 16. He loses control of the bike. It's late at night. Uh, and she died, man. He was okay, but she died. And it's the most dangerous part of living in the Philippines. I mean, you can talk about rebels and crime and kidnapping and all that you want to, but being on that road is the most dangerous time in the Philippines. Now,
100%,
this
man.
guy's got a question. He's got a question for you. He said, I'd like the guest to talk about how he deals with medical care in Pattaya.
All right, here's a beautiful thing. Just like in the Philippines, right? There are hospitals. Well, the good thing for us in the Philippines is ex-military, is we actually have a VA clinic in Manila. It's the only one in the whole world outside of the country. And that was a great option. So over here in Thailand, I was like, what am I going to do? Well, I still have my TRICARE and I still have VA. So how am I going to use that? Well, thankfully, the large hospitals here in Thailand, like Bangkok Hospital and I can't remember the other one. But there's a couple other large commercial private hospitals here who are in communication with the VA and TRICARE. So you go in and you give them your information, you register with their international services, and now you have at least some coverage. You have at least something that's going to help you out if you get seriously ill or injured here in Thailand, which is a beautiful thing. And of course, the larger private hospitals are world class. They're very nice, very, very nice. So that is a good thing.
Yeah, I was reading about the healthcare infrastructure here is amazing. And Lynn San Diego 102 asked me, how's the food here? I haven't eaten this good probably in a decade. Everything I've eaten here has just been delicious. This is the best food I've probably ever eaten. And see, they were shocked. We went to an after hours restaurant last night, and man, it's the best food I've eaten probably, like I said, in a decade. They were shocked that I was eating all the different Thai foods, but I'm open-minded because I'll try some stuff just to see what I like, but you can't go wrong over here. I've eaten Indian food over here that will, man, just blow your head off, man. Stuff is good. Am I lying, Chocolate Man?
Not at all, man. Yeah. Of course, Thai food is next level. Everybody know how to cook Thai food here, but it's the international options that just blow my mind. There in Pattaya, there's no way for me to even count the number of restaurants in Pattaya, which is, not so great for my stomach because it just keeps getting bigger. But yeah, you can get anything you want here. You really can. There's very few things you can't get. So food options are great. For me and AC Angeles, the food, of course, good Filipino food, but outside of that, the other non-Filipino options were not so great for me. AC is just too small, everything was kind of one off on the food. It just not really for me. Now, when we travel to like Boracay or Manila, you get outside of Angeles, everybody had really good food, but for some reason in Angeles, man, getting good food was hard.
Yeah. Thanks, Dana Jones, for the super chat. He says, I'm looking at a nursing home in Chiang Mai for my aunt that specializes in taking care of Alzheimer's and dementia patients. Plus, they don't take all the person's money like they do here in America. Yes. Are you familiar with any?
Yes, elderly care, and this is something I'm gonna have to consider because my mother's getting elderly, and actually my boy, no time to be sad, Chuck and Paige up there, they live up in the north. They got a big channel here in Thailand too. He's actually bringing his mother over. But yes, elderly care, especially for if your parents are a little bit debilitated or something like that, elderly care here is next level. Thai people, just like in the Philippines, Thai people are extremely respectful of their elders. There are many private places if you want to bring family members over here that will take care of your family for a very, very affordable fee every month. I mean, yes, those are great options here in Thailand. I would have no problem bringing my mother here. If she ever got worse, she's pretty good right now, but if she ever got worse off, she would do just fine over here in Thailand. And it's going to be way, way cheaper than America, way cheaper. And I would feel more comfortable with her here than over there.
Yeah, Yusuf Amar Habib, he asked the question, he says, is it generally more expensive in Thailand than the Philippines? And just on my little small, I'm going to let you answer that, but let me say this. I'm going to say my money goes further here because the quality that I'm getting here. Remember, we're getting 35 baht per dollar. And it's just the quality. I think it goes a lot further. Like the food last night, we had about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We had like 5 dishes, plus, the drinks, and then the rice on the side. It was 635 baht. It's not even $20. But I'm saying the food was just off the chain. I mean, it was something that I would have paid $100 for in America for the equivalent. I mean, I'm saying, I don't know if it would have cost me $100, but I'm saying I would have willingly paid $100 for it. So tell us a little bit about the cost of living here, but don't compare it to the Philippines. Just talk about how it is here in Thailand.
Yeah, for me, it's extremely affordable. Like when I get down at the end of the day and do my budget, whatever, it's maybe a little over a grand a month to take care of my basic needs, things like, rent, cable, food, things like that. A little over $1,000, maybe 1,500 at the most, and then the rest is all just my money, my pension, whatever other money I got is just mine. When you only got to deal with $1,500 in expenses every month, that leaves a lot of options for a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there whose pension is only around $2K a month. Like, they wondering if they can survive here. Yes, not only can you survive, you can thrive. You can have a good time here. You can do vacations. You can go and entertain yourself. You got so many more things open to you here, and that's the big thing about moving overseas, is opening yourself up to other things. You're not just trying to pay rent anymore. Rent is taken care of. You got that. Now you can go do something for yourself.
Yeah, I could see why your channel is so popular, man, because you give a lot of good information, man. A lot of boots on the ground, just real live information that people can internalize, man, and go out and use. And that's what I try to do in the Philippines, man. It's more than dating, it's more than relationships, man. But you got to give the people what they want. We've got such big male audiences, so we got to talk about that stuff. But I can see why your channel, man, because I really enjoyed our conversation yesterday. I could have kept going, but I didn't want to inconvenience Mr. Lee because his English is not so good.
Exactly.
I didn't want to keep him out of the loop like that. But yeah, I can see why. That's what this guy says. He said Chocolate Man does phenomenal videos with boots on the ground. He said, glad to see you two collapse. Man, I tell you what, I was so shocked. We was on Soy 6 last night, man. And guys were recognizing me, man, and I didn't know it. I'm like, man, I didn't know I had viewers over here in Thailand. There was a guy from Kuwait. He was like, he just kept looking at me. Then he finally came over there. He said, are you Mr. Boots on the Ground? He said, I thought so. And he said he had just gotten here 2 days ago. Then I met a guy, same thing, from England. London, England last night. He said the same thing. And I was shocked, man. I was like, wow. But that's one thing about this place that I really like. There's a lot of foreigners, so you don't have to. See, I be craving for conversation in the Philippines, but you don't have that problem here. Hell, every 5 feet, you see somebody that can speak English over here.
Right. Yeah, man, that's why I kind of locked into the expat community. Again, that's why I moved to AC. I didn't really want to be out in the sticks and not really have no one to talk to, really communicate with. I didn't realize how important that was to me until you get it taken away. So yeah, I have to live around other expats. For other people, they don't want to do that. They want to be as far away from other expats as they can. And I completely understand that. It takes all kinds. So for me, I'm always going to live around other expats because I every once in a while I got to have a conversation with somebody real, like, all right. I mean, I know I can't bounce this stuff off a Thai person, so I got to talk to somebody real. That's why I was happy to talk to you last night. Like, hey, we could talk all night, man. It's all good. It's good to have another American to bounce things off of occasionally.
That's exactly my point that I try to make the guys, because they say the same thing, but I tell them in 6 months, you'll be dying for an American. You'd be dying to meet somebody over here, man, because that communication, it's one of the 8 wonders of the world, as far as I'm concerned. Self-expression is one of the keys to happiness, man. If you can't talk to anybody, if you can't express yourself, man, you're going to be miserable. I don't care where you are. He said at Superstar Jones, I'll quit the infrastructure talk. Yeah, I mean, this place is on a whole other level. I won't, people always want to, and maybe you get some insight on this. Why do people always want to compare the Philippines to Thailand? I don't understand that. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. These are 2 totally different places. You can enjoy both of them. Okay. It's like, I don't have one suit of clothes. I can put on a suit one day and come with a jogging suit the next. I mean, but this place is on a whole other level. I wouldn't compare it. I'd just come over and enjoy it, guys. That's what I would do. You're going to lose something trying to compare all the time, but they both have their strong points.
There's no rules though. There's nothing saying you can't do both. I got friends who want to do 6 months on, 6 months off. They want to do 6 months in the Philippines and 6 months in Thailand. They want the best of both worlds, and I can't. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And actually, that's a good way to defeat the visa too. Like if you just want to come over here for a couple of months and then run back to the Philippines, now you don't have a visa issue, and you can maintain 2 households. You can. That's a beautiful thing about the Philippines and Thailand is you can do month-to-month rents. You can do fully furnished apartments, things like that. There's no requirement for you to be locked into either or place. Hey, we can start getting crazy. We can throw in South America. We can throw in the Caribbean. There's other options. What we're saying is escape the matrix. Get free. Why are you paying these big bills every month in America? That's my biggest issue with things. So I'll promote them all.
Man, we on the same page because I had weaved a web for myself, man, I couldn't get out of. And when I finally saw the chance to get out of there, I did. And that's why I won't go back. I can't afford it, really. I can't afford to live in America anymore. They priced me out to the lifestyle I really want to live. I'd have to get back on that hamster wheel, and that's really a no-brainer. That's a fact. She says, I'm not doing Airbnb here. No, I'm in a hotel right up the street, right on the boulevard here for $19 a night. It's A1 star hotel. I was shocked. It's clean. You got Wi-Fi, cable, hot water. I mean, it doesn't come with a breakfast though. I want to give a shout out to the NTZ crew. I forgot. Sorry, Jacob, Tanjay, and Michael Beat Your Life. I want to thank y'all for what y'all do. They mediate for me, Chocolate Man. I don't know. Do you got mediators or do you need them?
Oh yeah, moderator strong. Moderator game has to be strong, man. I got great mods, man. I got like 10 solid mods. So yes, I feel you on that one. Having good mods. Hey, shout out to your mods. Appreciate you. Anybody thinks your job is easy? It is not. Having good mods is like gold. You can't do a live stream without good mods. You can't do it.
Yeah. He says, wow, that's affordable and near the beach area. I'll take that. Yeah. See, that's what Mr. Lee, he's the one that referred me to the place. But he said you can get rooms over here, and Chocolate Man vouched for it, for about 5,000 baht. You could rent that. You can get aircon, bathroom and just one room. Is that right?
Yes. If you wanted just the basics, $5K a month. So that's about $150 American. You could do that. Most people on the average here are probably doing about 8 to 15K a month. I do 12K, and I love my place. I love for 12K for about $340, $350. I'm good. I can live here forever. I'm perfectly comfortable. Perfectly comfortable.
Yeah. Now Christopher Wolfgang, this is a serious guy. But he's asking you a question. He says, do women in Thailand want to have your baby without ever meeting you? I want to move to a place where babies are the last thing on the menu. I don't know
what's funny. I don't know what that's about, but that's funny. But no, the women here have very similar backgrounds. The Filipino women, they grow up, a lot of them grow up with very humble backgrounds. So, when you meet them, and the women who enjoy foreign men, it's pretty obvious who they are. They will definitely give you attention. They would, it's not going to be a problem finding. There's always somebody for everybody. So do they want to have your baby? Some do. I'm sure some of them do. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's one thing I've noticed about the few places I've been in Asia. People leave you alone over here. It's the same way here in Thailand. No one bothers you here. Whatever you want to do, as long as you respect the people and the culture, you can do it. Has that been your experience over here? Because you lived in the Philippines too. And they don't bother you over there.
Yeah,
I like that,
culturally different here. One thing culturally different here than in the Philippines, and there's, you could kind of bring in a religious aspect. you can say whether it is or is not a factor. To me, it's been a factor though. Catholicism versus Buddhism, but in the Philippines, like people would stare a lot. That's one thing that used to bother me in the Philippines. People would always stare at me, and it's curiosity. That's all it is. It's, you know, they're not mad at you and nothing like that, but they're just curious. They're like, hey, they see a foreigner, they stare at you. They really do. In Thailand, you don't see that. They don't stare here. As a matter of fact, catching eye contact is a rare thing. You know, unless they're talking to you.
Yeah.
You know, but normally they just mind their own business. They do their own thing. They're not worried about you. You know, they see foreigners all the time. It's not a big thing for them. They're like, okay.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
they don't really look
That's why I say you can't compare these two places.
Yes.
Thailand has some sophistication about it. It has that international flavor. There's 49 million tourists that come here. The country only has 69 million. Every 5 feet you see a foreigner. It's no big deal. You know, in the Philippines is like living. They living in a bubble, man. Really, literally. It's people in the Philippines who've never, to this day, met a foreigner face to face. Right now, there's places I go in 2022, especially they've never seen a foreigner. They've never met you in person. They see you from a distance or on television or something, and it's pretty amazing. But yeah, here I can get that feeling. But I tell guys all the time, if people stare at you, here's all you have to do. Look down at their feet in the Philippines, okay? That will stop that in a minute. Don't ask me why that works. Somebody told me that years ago.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was a big thing over there. We used to play with them all the time, though, because I knew why they were staring. You know, I knew they, you know, a lot of times I just engage them. Like, hey, what's up? Can I help you? What you need? You know, you want to talk about something? We can talk.
Hey, thanks, Mr. Mysterious, for that super sticker. I appreciate all my support, man, for Sunshine Shoulders. Really, man. I was telling,
strong community.
Yeah, I was telling Chocolate Man yesterday. I never dreamed of this. See, this was never even on the radar because YouTube owed me about $57, but I couldn't get it because I have $100 threshold. So I said, well, hell, I want my $100. I'm going to start making videos, but they slapped me in the face because all the rules had changed. You got to have 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch time hours, man. That's really, you would know because you've been there before. That's so unbelievable for a new guy who wants to start a YouTube channel. 4,000, you know, you can get 1,000 subscribers, but trying to come up with that 4,000 watch time hours, man, that's crazy, man, that they did that.
They're going to make you work for it, baby. You can't just come in here and stomp around and think you're going to take over YouTube. Boy, I love, you know, and that's what I love when the haters come in, you know, you e-baggers and all that. And you just, you know, you want something for nothing. They're like, come do it. Come give it a try if you think it's easy. The reality going to slap you in the face. It's a lot harder than you think, you know, and it is actually work. So I love it. I love it when they come with that stuff. I'm like, just give it a shot. Give it a shot. See what you can do with it.
See, I was going to try to give my viewers a view of the beach, but it's too damn bright. It's too damn bright.
Yeah, you got to jump out the shot for that to work.
Yeah, I was going to try to give them that, you know, that back, man, because that's a hell of a view, right?
Mm-hmm. It is. It's beautiful.
Especially around, what time was it we met? Around 6 o'clock, 5:30 or 6 o'clock, man? I was like, wow.
Yeah. About 6:30, right around sunset. That's why we were getting that beautiful view, man. We get that sunset every day.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I mean, it's something that I would pay just for that, just to be able to get up every morning. Cause see, I love water. I've got to be around water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at some point I've got to be around water, and I would just get up every morning because you see the foreigners doing it, man. They're jogging right now, up and down here, and this is a long stretch. It's fairly clean. It's not white sand, but hell, it's what, beige or something?
Yeah, it's not the nicest beach ever, but it is a beach. That's the bottom line. You got the water. I don't know if I'd swim out in Pattaya Bay, but at least you got the beach, you got the view. And if you really want to go swim in the water here, all you have to do is hop on the ferry for about 30 minutes or hop on a speedboat for about 10 minutes, head out to the island of Kolan, and you got tropical beaches out there. You got nice atmosphere. You can eat, drink, party, whatever. So we got that option right there.
Yeah, I see a beach, maybe, what is that, about a 10-minute boat ride?
Yeah, about anywhere between 10 and 30 minutes, depending on, take speedboat or take the ferry. So, but it's cheap.
I could see island hopping here. I see 1, 2, 3 islands within striking distance of this place.
Yes, sir.
Hey, J. Andy Johns, thanks for that super chat. He said, congrats, Calvin and Chocolate Man. Question for Chocolate Man. Do you know of a place where I can get home care for a parent?
Yeah, absolutely. There are several places in Thailand. I don't know one off the top of my head, but just search for elderly care in Thailand on Google. Just Google it, and several places come up. They all have websites. Now, I believe there's pricing on a lot of them, but it talks about what they do. Of course, they want to open a dialogue with you and talk about your, what your family member's situation is and all that. But yes, there are several places in Thailand that will do elderly care for expats, foreigners, whatever. They've got you. They got you. So you could even bring your parent over here, put them up in a condo or an apartment or whatever, and then hire somebody to care for them. Those are very easy things to do in Thailand. Very easy.
Yeah, thanks, Callie T, for that super chat. He said, great show, fellas. I want to thank everybody, man. I want to go on record. I don't know, Chocolate Man. I invited you. I guess there was a universe telling me to invite you to the live stream. This is the most people I've ever had on a live stream. I know me and John have reached about 400 before, but hell, I'm at 550. That's unbelievable right there.
I put it out there, crazy. So hopefully my gang up in here too. So
yeah, that's good stuff, man. He says I'm coming through Pattaya in October. Hey, I asked you this question yesterday. Does it ever get cold in Thailand around this area?
Right. In Pattaya, no, we have what's called the high season here, probably from about October through about February is when the temperatures are the most moderate, and it never gets below about 75, 80. You might get a little breeze or something like that. But yeah, that's obviously it's dry season. It's most comfortable here. It's perfect. It's like the perfect temperatures. You can still hit the beach every day, be comfortable, So yeah, I recommend anybody, if you've never been over here, come over around October-ish or a little bit later. You kind of avoid the rains, you get the moderate temperatures, and that's when most people are going to be here. So
yeah, I'm getting a breeze now because see, at first, man, it was humid. It was sticky, man. When I came, of course, I drank a coffee, but now it's overcast and it's perfect right now. This will be perfect. Why do they tell you don't get in this water out here? I've had several people tell me just walk up and down here, but don't get in the water. What's that all about, Chocolate Man?
The biggest problem is in the wet season when we get the heavy rains, all the flooding, everything. We are in the floodplain, so all the water and trash and garbage and everything that comes from the east side of the city flows right down to the bay. So it's not necessarily the best and cleanest situation. I wouldn't do it with all that runoff. I mean, we're talking, billions of gallons of water flowing down into that water, and it's just, it's not a good situation. We can't paint a pretty picture about it. It's just not. I wouldn't get in that water personally. Not me. I've never been swimming on the coast of Pattaya at all. It's just not for me. I go out to the island or go out somewhere else and swim. So I hate to dog out like that, but just being real, it's just not a good situation with all that stuff flowing into the water, to the bay.
Hey, thanks W Secrets to Success blog for that super chat. He said, Calvin, Thailand has you looking a year younger in your short time there. What you doing over there? Stop! Don't tell him. No.
Yeah. We can't put that on there.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. It's funny you said something yesterday, and I don't like to get into the comparisons, but I asked you about Filipino women and Thai women because and you said the Filipino special, right?
Yeah, it's, I mean, like I said, my girl's probably out there lurking and gonna slap me later. But yeah, Filipinas just always had a special place for me. The first foreign women I ever dated were Filipinos. That's just the communities I was in when I was in the military had a lot of Filipinos, and that's who I dated. I dated Filipinas most of the time. So they always gonna have a special place for me, and they always gonna look a certain way to me. Of course, Thai women are drop dead gorgeous. They just have a different type of look. Is what it is. But again, you don't have to pick and choose. Many dudes bring their Filipino bride with them here or their girlfriends. They do it all the time. Filipinos are everywhere. I've never gone anywhere in the world and not seen Filipinos.
Yeah, that's what I was telling guys, which would be the best of both worlds, to bring your Filipino over here. Darren Cooper, I hope he's watching. He's lived here. He's got a retirement visa here and in the Philippines. He brought his Filipino girlfriend here on vacation, and she didn't want to leave. She said, I don't mind you retiring over here. And that would be the best of both worlds to me, would be to bring your Filipino wife or girlfriend over here to live, man. I think you'd be on cloud nine on that.
Nothing wrong with
thanks, that. TJ Johnson, for that super chat.
Nothing
he said, shoot me a link.
The only problem I feel. Yeah.
He said, shoot me a link. I'm definitely trying to get my flowers and run my victory lap for the infrastructure. Laugh my ass off. The problem is, man, I'm on my phone and I can't navigate that, because I love to have you on here. I know. How much is that? This one. Okay, let me have. I'm buying me a bracelet, man. I got to get some stuff while I'm here to bring back to the kids and stuff, because I don't know, almost forgot about the souvenirs and stuff. So I'm gonna have to get some stuff done in Bangkok. I get some t-shirts and stuff. I just bought me a bracelet just to say, yeah, I was here. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, TJ, I would love to send you that link, man, but I'm not gonna be able to. Hey, Jamal, thanks for that super chat. He said, this is classic. Give us a boots on the ground about the beautiful women in Thailand, man. I tell you what, I'm getting ready to upload a video. It's going to say all I need to say, Jamal, about the women, because see, here's one thing about Filipino women. I know Marilyn's probably watching this, or she's going to watch it sometime. They totally misinterpret you. They hear what you're saying, but they don't understand it, man. So if I was to say, oh man, these women are so beautiful over here, and I've seen some knockouts, man, she would swear up and down I'm seeing somebody over here. So, but yeah, I'm gonna upload a video later in full color, man. I'm gonna show it to you. Be Fresh says, Sunshine, how's Mr. Sydney? I really enjoyed that video. I shared it with my older uncle. He loved it also. Man, Sydney is having the time of his life. That's my 87-year-old brother, man, over in the Philippines. He's been all around the world. And, he lost his wife from COVID in May of 2020. May she rest in peace. And he's basically been isolated, man, and lonely, man. I told him, come on over to the Philippines, and he's a phenomenon. I don't know, Chocolate Man, if you've seen the video. Thank you. He's 87, man. This guy looks like he's about 60. He's got his full set of teeth, okay? And he's having the time of his life, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what's up. And I feel sorry if you got some widowers out there, but yeah, I mean, this is a good place to come, to, hey, relax. If you have a dramatic situation like that in your life, yeah, come on over here, man. This is a great place to cope. Most definitely.
This part of the world saved my life. I mean, I was in a bad shape when I came when I came here. When I first started coming to the Philippines, man, I was going through a divorce. You know, um, I mean, I guess I was going through that midlife crisis, man. It seemed like the world was shrinking, and it was like I was running out of time. I had more years behind me than ahead of me, man. I just had to break out of there. And when I came to the Philippines, man, I was like, wow, this is it. And then it's just been growing ever since. And now I come to Thailand, man. That's just on a whole other level. I plan on going to Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia, Laos. I'm gonna do the whole Southeast Asia tour eventually, because like you said, that tourist thing. If I was going to go to Guam, but it just didn't excite me to go to Guam on my visa run. And I looked on there and I saw where Thailand was fully open. Really, there was no COVID test. All you needed was to be fully vaccinated. There's no quarantine, and have $10,000 worth of COVID insurance. I said, well, hell, that's where I'm going. And the flight was an hour less. So I'm so thankful I came on over here.
Yeah, 100%. Good choice, man. I mean,
yeah, it saved my life.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, if you going through the midlife thing, if you're going through the crisis and whatnot, man, come back over here so you can get that 10, 15 years back on your life, because you're definitely going to live longer over here. Well, some people won't. They're going to drink too much, whatever. But most people, you're going to live longer over here. You're probably going to eat better, act better. Your mental health's going to be better. I say coming over here definitely puts years back on your life, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, your stress level's certainly down, way down. Because what I was telling you yesterday, I don't worry about the things that would kill me over there. Money, see, I don't worry about that over here. I've got more money than bills over here. Relationships, I don't beg over here. I haven't begged in 13 years. And it's just my stress level. Nobody bothers me over here, because in America, I call it the big three is going to get you: the thugs, the police, or the stress. That's what I call the big three. And they were on my back over there. And so when I came over here, man, I feel so much better. I feel so much younger. But let me get the super chat real quick, because I want to ask you something. Thanks, Derek Taylor, for the super chat. He said, respect to you, Calvin and Chocolate Man. Me and a few friends may be headed out there in January. This will be my first time in Pattaya. Will I be walking into utopia of unicorns? It's a wonderland. Absolutely, but I think you can answer that better than me, Chocolate Man. What's he walking into over here?
Yeah, I wish I could always go back to the first time. It really is like the first time you with a lady, you never forget it. You never forget it. It doesn't even seem real to you. And that's where your boy Lee, that's where a good tour guide comes in handy. But you might have some people with you already been here, but it's not too hard to find the entertainment districts anyway. But once you get there, you just like, this can't be real. You really feel like this cannot be real. And the things, the money you're paying for drinks, the money you're paying for food, the little everyday thing, the nice hotel room you might be staying in. At the end of the trip, you're like, I only spent how much? It just really blows your mind. It really does. It's just something new, man. It's something special.
Yeah. The unicorn for me was just the amount of women that be on that Soy 6 and that Walking Street. I mean, that's the unicorn to me. I don't see that kind of stuff where I live in San Carlos City or anywhere like that. I haven't seen anything like that since I was in Brazil in the Navy back in the 1980s, when there was no politically correct anything. It was all wide open, and you could call a woman a whore back then. That's what she was. That's what they was. But you get in trouble for doing that kind of stuff now. Hey, thanks, Jamal, for that super chat. He says, you definitely need Cash App. He said YouTube is taking a lot of money. I can't have Cash App outside of the United States. I don't know if anybody knows that or not. You can. I've got PayPal, but yeah, you can't have Cash App outside the United States.
Yeah, I tried to set up a
What do they
cash app.
use
You
over
can't
here?
do it. So I
What do
think
they
it's PayPal.
use over here?
Yeah,
Do
I
they
just
have
use
another something
PayPal.
else over here?
Yeah, I use PayPal. You can also use TransferWise, but you have to have an account over here. So
Yeah. You know, but this super chat and super stickers, this is something YouTube invented for, we're, believe it or not, we're small channels for real. It helps
mhm.
us, to get support. It's just a way for our supporters to support the channel. And it's their invention. So I never tell anyone how to spend their money. I don't discourage people. It is what it is, man. YouTube created that. I think it's good for small channels. Just a way for you to get some support, because when you have 38,000 subscribers like me, which is crazy to me. I forgot how many you got 25,000 or something. You're not gonna get
I got
rich
21.
from YouTube. And it's just another way, that's all. Hey, thanks, Danny. This is my buddy, man. He actually came and visited me in the Philippines, Chocolate Man. I'm pretty sure you get a
Okay.
lot of guys that come over here and look you up, right?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah. Thanks for that super chat. He said, hey, Calvin and Chocolate Man. He said, great to see both of you on the live stream together. I watch you both. Thanks for helping me out, Calvin. I'm back in Missouri and jumping back on that hamster wheel tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be back in 6 months. And of all the people, I'm going to tell you something that I really feel sorry for with these long distance relationships. Danny's one of them, man. I couldn't do a long distance relationship. I couldn't do it. It's too much. It's torture, man. I don't know why anybody would want to punish themselves like that. And he's got a beautiful, sexy woman, man. You see her on those videos, but she looks 10 times better in person. And for you to have that every day for 30 days, and now you don't have nothing, and you may not see her for 6 months. Who knows when you'll see her again? That's not I don't work like that, Chocolate Man.
Unfortunately, man, the reality of long distance relationships is, the odds are not in your favor. It's not a great thing to be in, but I get it. I understand some people, they've made that commitment. They can make it work. I get it. It's just like marriage really isn't for me. Long distance relationships ain't for me. I can't do them. I applaud anybody that makes them work. Good for you. But yeah, it is touchy territory, that long distance thing.
I just can't do it. I just can't do it, man. I need what I need, man. I've been here for 5 days. I really can't wait. I mean, I can't wait to get back to Maryland. It's just something that I miss, man. I can't be away for a whole lot of times. Hey, Port Local. He says, thanks for the super chat. He says, shout out to both of you guys, long-time subscriber of your channels. Heading to Southeast Asia in a few months. Yeah, come on over, man. You won't regret it.
Nah.
One of the best decisions I ever made. If not the best decision.
Again, if it's not Southeast Asia, try out South America, try out the Caribbean, try something. You might even like Europe. Europe expensive as hell, but try something else. That's all I can say. Get that passport and go out and do something.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to jump out of the frying pan into the fire, though. I think I'm going to leave Europe where it is. But I enjoyed myself in Europe. I went to Naples, Italy, and took the tour to Rome. I went to Portsmouth, England, took the tour to London. I enjoyed myself, but that's like jumping out of the frying pan into the fire, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they got their own issues over there, so we'll let them do their thing. But yeah, there's other spots for sure. And even Africa, I don't know. We don't really talk about Africa a whole lot, but there's some good spots in Africa. I got friends that live in Africa, and they love it. They love it. I mean, it's a continent. There's a lot of options in Africa.
Absolutely. I had a young brother. His name is Jude Travels is the name of his channel. He's in Tanzania right now, but he was based in South Africa. And he said he went to South Africa and fell in love with it, and he's been over there ever since. He's in Tanzania now. It's just so much propaganda and so much bad information going around about Africa that I'm so glad that he has that channel. He can, get rid of a lot of that stuff because it'll discourage you from going over there, man, but I tell people all the time, wherever you find that utopia, grab it. It could be the Philippines, it could be Thailand, it could be Brazil, wherever it is. Just know what your options are. Search them out, man. The world is the earth is approximately 197 million square miles. I spent the majority of my life, Chocolate Man, and try to let this marinate, tell you how frustrated I was. On 334 square miles out of that 197 million. It's a wonder I was frustrated, right?
That's the thing, man. I still got, we all got them. I'm sure we all got friends that never left home, never left the hometown. I still got them. I can't believe it, man. Like joining the military was the best thing that ever could have happened. I can thank Mom for that. He pretty much forced me into the military. She's like, you ain't staying around here no more. Like, you better go do something. You ain't going to go to college. You're going to join the military. Changed my whole life. Traveling overseas, I was never going to do that. Never going to do that. I want to stay right at home. Never going to leave my town. Stay with my friends, boy. That was the road I was on. That was my path. Yeah, I joined the military at 19 and then never looked back. That's it. You never realize how big the world was until you start traveling around in it. I'm telling you. Whew, and I don't care when you get started. Yeah. You don't get started at 68. You need to do something. Get that passport. Get out there and see the world. I don't care if you start late, start early. It don't matter.
Okay, let me ask you something about this. Because here's a guy he says, Ed Roach, he said, greetings, excuse me, almost cousin. Thanks for that super chat. He said, you and Chocolate Man are doing a fantastic job tonight. I watch Chocolate Man and fish a lot also. By the way, what's this? Is this your girlfriend's name?
Yeah, that's her name, Fall. That's my girl. Mm-hmm. She's actually should be up and working or watching us, one or the other. She'll be over here a little later. We're about to leave over to Phuket here shortly.
Oh, yeah. Now, let me ask you, can you fish over here in Thailand?
Fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure enough. They got deep sea fishing. They got coastal fishing. They got freshwater fishing. But it just depends on what you're into. It's not going to be like in the States, like, again, my boy Chuck, no time to be sad. He was a big bass fisherman. That's not as common here. But, yeah, like ocean fishing, squid fishing, that type of thing is very common. They do a lot of netting too.
Yeah, so they'll let you do it. It's not like in the Philippines, it's like their bread and butter, and I don't think they take too well to seeing you out there fishing unless you throwing a fish back in or something. Because they literally do that to put food on their table, and it's a big business over there. I don't think they take too kindly to seeing people out there fishing. But yeah, it was a big joining the military was a great decision for me too, especially at that time. Coming right out of high school, I didn't want to go to college. You can always go to college. I wanted to see something. I had my brother, who I was closest to, he was already in the Navy, and he was real influential in me joining the Navy. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't want to go in the Army. I didn't want to go in the Marines because I really didn't want to fight anybody. Okay? I looked at it as a job, and that's how I lived for my 4 years in the Navy. And I believe that's why I had such a great time, and it went so smooth. And of course, in the Navy, you travel everywhere. Man, I've been all over the world. You don't stay there long. I think the longest we ever stayed was in Brazil for 5 days. But hell, that's like an eternity when you a 19-year-old from Louisville, Kentucky. That's enough.
Yeah, 100% with that, man. And that's the thing, in the military, you never really stay anywhere that long, but at least you had that experience. You had a touch with all those different cultures that you would have never seen in your life anyway. So a couple of days is better than nothing for sure. 100%.
Yeah, Craig Beach says I might get punched in the face doing the catch and release thing. Yeah, but I think that would be. But let me take that back. John's girlfriend, she lives in a fishing village, and Japanese come every year. They come there, and they go out with the fishermen. The fishermen let them go out with them, and they fish. Now, what they do with the fish, I don't know. But I mean, you know how we stand on the banks in the United States and cast a rod and all that? You don't see that in the Philippines. I've never seen that. Not a foreigner.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why they don't do that much, huh? That's crazy. Over here, as far as I know, it's not an issue at all. I don't fish, so it doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, I'm sure throwing a line in here is not a big deal. Not like you got to go get a license from the Fish and Wildlife and all that. Nah, you ain't got to worry about all that. Just go out and throw a line in if you want to do it.
So are you driving to Phuket or are you flying?
I'll be flying this time, but normally I drive. I rent car. I don't own a car here. I just rent cars, whatnot. That can start to add up over time. But yeah, you get a decent rental here and go drive around the country. I feel fine with that. But yeah, I'm flying this time. And of course, domestic flights are pretty reasonable. Not a big deal.
Yeah. Eric Terry, I'm gonna shout him out. He flew over here with me. He's a subscriber. He's a friend now. This guy. I show you where he was staying in Phuket, man. He was staying like a 5-star resort. He said he got a good deal on it because it's off season. But he's low season. Flying back. He's flying back to Bangkok today. And he said he sent me a lot of pictures. He's on his jet ski. He was going island hopping on a damn jet ski. Yeah.
That was a pimping little pad you showed me. That was a nice spot.
Yeah.
There are some absolutely gorgeous resorts in Thailand. Just, man, there are some amazing places. And like I said, in the low season, man, you can get them for nothing.
I didn't know how I was going to like this place. This is one of those places you don't want to leave. See, even though I'm going back to the Philippines, man, my favorite place on the planet, I don't want to leave this place for real. This is one of those places that grabs a hold of me.
I warned you, man. I warned you. It's gonna get its hooks in you, and you ain't gonna be able to leave.
Yeah.
But of course,
one of the questions for you
when you live there.
One of the questions for you was, I missed it. He says, do you miss your family back in the States?
Yeah, only thing I got back in the States is my mom. So she's doing her thing. I take care of her best as I can, but yeah, I got a few friends from high school and, growing up. But like I said, I hadn't lived in my hometown for almost 30 years now. So I don't really have much of a connection to anything back there. I still got some military friends around the world, that type of thing. But, there's not enough connection for me back in America to miss it that much. Like feeling like I got to live back there. I was in the military. I moved around all the time. So I had new friends at each places, and the old friends kind of drift. You got some new friends, but that's just how my life's been. I move to a new place, make new friends. So.
Yeah. Let me ask you, when's the last time you've been to the States?
Yeah, I haven't been back since, the end of 2019 was the last time I went back. Saw my mom, all that, did a little trip there, But yeah, it was crazy, man. I was up around Seattle area, and it was just the prices and just everything, just so many things. Like just the whole atmosphere was just not for me no more. It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. You hate to badmouth your own country, but it wasn't comfortable. And the cost of everything was just, I was like, this is why I live overseas. Like it was such a shock for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, a guy asked me, was I stationed in Norfolk, Virginia? I was on the USS John F. Kennedy, CV-67. You remember all that stuff. when you're in the military because they drill it in your head. It was an aircraft carrier, man. It was probably the best 4 years of my young life at that time. I mean, we literally never slept when we were in port. And when you're out to sea, you work 12 hours on, 12 hours off. We'd get off, man, and we say we're going to bed. We'd stay out all night, man. Didn't have to do that 12 hours. And we do that 4 or 5 times a week. It's wonder that I'm still alive.
You got to get the most out of it, right?
Oh, man. I'm talking about, we used to literally stay up, man. And that's the first time, this was in my drinking and drugging days. I don't drink anything anymore. But a guy from Texas gave me a hit of acid, man. And I tell you what, I don't want no more of that. I tripped out off that. Yeah. We were on the expressway. We're in the fast lane going about 5 miles an hour, man. We're laughing. It's fun. And man, it was crazy, man. I don't want any more of that. But I remember stupid stuff like that. He says that Ishmael Morris says 55 to 1 pesos coming in the next few weeks as forecasted. How's the exchange rate there with the dollar to baht count? It's 35.35. Is that going up? What's the highest you ever seen it?
About 36 is probably the highest I ever saw. When I came here in 2008, that's what we were doing, about 36. So that's extremely high. It was 29 when I moved here in 2019. It was 29 baht to the dollar. And it's a big difference with the baht. Just a couple of baht makes a big difference.
You damn right. Mm-hmm. And see, that's what I'm saying. Now, I tell guys all the time to don't do that exchange in your head, but when you're new to a place, you're gonna do it. Do you still do it, or you just deal straight with baht?
No, I'm always calculating everything back to dollars. I always think of everything in dollars. I just do that conversion in my head generally.
Yeah. Over in the Philippines, I strictly do pesos. I'm on the peso now. It took me a long time to do that. And that was some advice that I got from a guy. He said, Calvin, no matter what you do, he said, you've got to convert from the dollar to the peso. He said, it's going to save you a lot of money. Because when you start doing that exchange rate to the dollar, you're on the U.S. economy. And that's the way you're thinking. You're saying, oh, this is only $3 and something U.S. He said, no, it's 150 pesos. And until you can learn that, and it takes a long time and it's difficult because we've been dealing with the dollar for our entire life. But I tell you what, man, I've saved a lot of money in the Philippines since I did that. Now over here, I'm converting everything, because I'm not familiar with the baht. But when I got on that peso, man, I was on a whole level. It was almost like learning their language over there. It really was.
Yeah.
Because everything's not a deal. See, you'll see something and you'll be like, oh, that's only $5. But no, that's a lot of money over here, over in the Philippines. It's not, the cost of living is so high in America, man. You can't base your money over here on the dollar. I know it sounds strange, but you can't bring the U.S. economy over here to the Philippine economy or the Thai economy. It's so different. $5 gets you so much more over here than it does in America. So that's where that conversion can get you in trouble. You'll be like, oh, that's a deal. And next thing you know, you're spending a lot of money. Because when I first got to the Philippines, I spent $7,000 in 2 months, man. That's crazy. And this is in 2010 dollars. Okay, right. That's a lot of money over there, man. There's no way I'm supposed to do that.
No. I don't even know how you did that. I would love to know what you spent that money on.
Because I was converting everything. Okay, we stayed at some nice resorts, right? And they were like, 3, 4, 5,000 pesos. Okay, that's a lot of money in the Philippines for a hotel. But I was converting it. I was like, well, hell, it's only $63. Yeah, I'm gonna pay it. So I never thought of Airbnb. I never thought about getting an apartment. And it cost me, man. It cost me a lot of money. So now that I'm on the peso, I was able to build my house for 1,000,000 pesos because I understand the value of the peso now. See, if I looked at it like, oh, that's only 20,000, let me spend 2,000,000 instead and spend, for 40,000. You understand?
Exactly. I see where you're going. I see where you're going with it, and it's really, you do have to kind of realize, how far your money goes on certain things. What's the value of my money here versus my value of my money in America, and why am I trying to live to a different standard or my American standard? Live to the Thai standard, live to the Filipino standard, and yes, you will spend a whole lot less money and still be perfectly comfortable. You don't have to you don't have to stay in the Hilton. You don't have to do it. Trust me, there's plenty of fine places to stay. So for sure, just like
That's
your
right.
$19 hotel there.
It's really not much difference between, now I'm not talking about 5-star. In the Philippines, it's not much difference between a $25 a night hotel and a $100 per night hotel. It's really not a whole lot different. You may get breakfast with the $100 per night hotel, but as far as aircon, Wi-Fi, and all of that cable, you're gonna have all of that.
Same, 100%.
Yeah, you're gonna have the same thing. So it's just your taste, basically, because this $19 hotel that I'm staying right here on the damn beach, that's good enough for me, man. I'm simple. It's clean, man. It's got cold air, free Wi-Fi, fast Wi-Fi. The internet over here is sensational, guys. I'm telling you. I'm on the internet right now. I'm on my phone. I'm using data now. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, in reality, how much time are you spending in that room? It don't really matter. Like, as long as you got a place to sleep at night, but yeah, you're gonna be out and about. You on vacation. You don't really need the nicest room.
Yeah, exactly. Now TJ, he's different though. He's a young guy. He's in his 30s. He's got a great job in corporate America. He says you don't have to stay in the Hilton, but if you have the means, I highly recommend it. Yeah, I mean, if you get it, but a lot of people who watch my channel, they're just regular Joes like me. We don't have a lot of money to throw around like that. So whenever I stay in a place like this, I let people know, and I'm gonna put the link in this later to, just in case you come here. But yeah, TJ, he stayed in the he stayed in the suite. Imagine we're in San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. You know how small that place is. I guarantee you they probably hadn't rented that suite out until he rented it. And I think you had that for a week, right? And then another one of my subscribers came in and rented it. Then Sydney came and Sydney rented the suite for 2 weeks. But I just wouldn't do it. There's no way I would spend 10,000 pesos a night to stay in San Carlos City. I mean, I love the place, but I wouldn't spend $200 a night to stay in any hotel there. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
Maybe one time a year I might do something like that, but nah, man. Nah, I ain't trying to drop it like that. Nah.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm saying when you start doing the exchange rate, it can get you in trouble because you're saying, oh, well, that's only $200. And that's a lot of money in the Philippines, man. That's 10,000 pesos.
A lot of people for a month.
You're damn right. I mean, that's a damn good job over there. But I mean, when it comes to getting a decent hotel, you could go way down. I mean, you could probably, let's see, for about 1,000, I mean, you could get a really nice hotel. I was staying, and I'm not some cheapskate. I'm not even frugal, but I'm not stupid either. I was in General Santos, man, and I rented an Airbnb, It was at a pension house, though. You know what a pension house is?
Yeah.
It's like just, smaller. Well, it's a hotel, but they just call them pension houses. It was $10 a night, man, and I had everything that I would have if I spent $100. Hot and cold water, cable, Wi-Fi, a bed. It was very clean. It was very safe. See, but yeah, let's get on this marijuana thing. It's legal here now, right?
Yeah, we could talk about that. As a matter of fact, I actually got to go and meet a guy a little later this afternoon. We're going to talk about his shop, do a whole video on it and everything, talk about the legality of it. But yeah, we can go over that now. So basically what happened in Thailand is they took marijuana off of their narcotics list, making it basically legal for people to grow it, possess it, that type of thing. Now, like a lot of things, probably happens in the Philippines a lot too, but like in Thailand, they'll often make a law or rescind a law or change something and then realize, well, that's not exactly what we meant. So they'll start adding laws back, which is going to happen with marijuana. But right now, generally, yes, you can have marijuana, you can smoke it, you can do all that stuff, but don't be out putting it in somebody's face. Don't be walking around with it. Don't be driving while you're doing it, all that. But yeah, if you go to a smoke shop, if you go to a weed house, whatever, you can eat some cookies, you can have some brownies, you can smoke it, you can do all that on the premises or in the privacy of your own home. You can have a plant at your home. And I think this only applies to Thai citizens, but they can grow a plant at their home, and use it for medicinal purposes. But that's the big thing, is it's only for medicinal purposes, no recreational use. So you better have a license, which again is not that hard to achieve, but you better have that, not like they're going and cracking heads in the streets and knocking people upside the head and saying, hey, where's your license? But for your own safety as a foreigner, you're going to want a piece of paper saying that you're allowed to have it and use it. So, but these are the things that are going to get refined over the next couple of months. They're already making new laws. They're keeping it out of schools. They don't want it near any kind of schools. And they're also making a law to enforce the no recreational use. So you're going to need some kind of license, some kind of medical license and medicinal need to use it here. Again, not that hard to achieve, but you need that paperwork.
Hey, why you on that knocking heads? How is the police over here? I hardly see them.
Exactly. They're not looking for you. They're not out to get you. They're there to deal with situations as they arise, and they try to deal with it at the lowest level possible. De-escalation here is just, they start out at slow and go slower. They're not trying to get anybody's Kool-Aid. They're not after you. The only time the police are really trying to get you is like when you're riding around without a helmet, something like that. You might have to give up a little money and they're going to catch you. Hey, you don't have a license, stuff like that. They have the little checkpoints and whatnot. You might get pulled over and they'll be like, all right, you got a license. Why aren't you wearing a helmet? All right, you might have to give up a couple dollars then. But in general, no, police are not out to get you here whatsoever.
Yeah, that's the big difference over here in Southeast Asia with the police, in my experience. The police in America, the minute they put on their uniform and they get cocky, they turn into somebody else. But over here, like last night, and you'll see it on this video I'm gonna upload on Walking Street, it's like the Keystone Cops, man. They all different sizes, some of them fat, some of them short, small. But they were doing this little drill, man. It was comical to me. But they just look like regular people who happen to have a job as a policeman. It's nothing like this militarized bullshit that you see in America. I mean, I've had guys I grew up with, man. They put on that uniform, and I don't know them, man. They become these tough guys. They become these bullies, man. And that's the only thing about the police. I don't like that bully mentality. I don't like bullies, period. And the police in America are bullies. As far as I'm concerned.
That's the unfortunate situation. And I don't think all cops are bad. Matter of fact, I think majority of cops are good. It's just those occasional dudes, man, that just, man, I don't know. I wish they had I honestly feel like they should nationalize the police force, but that's a whole nother conversation. If they all had to operate under the same rules, same requirements, I think things would be different. It's never going to happen, but I wish it would. All the places I've lived in, they have nationalized police forces. You know, Philippines, Thailand, whatever. The police force is a national organization. You know, there's only one police force, so I think it makes a difference. I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation, really. But yeah, over here, I don't worry about police. That's the bottom line. Is I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Let me ask you one more thing. What about the mask over here? Because I know if you're outside, it's to your discretion.
Yeah,
is that what that is?
Technically, until July 1st, there is a national mask mandate. On the 1st of July, we lose our national mask mandate, and they're still kind of deciding how they want to do it. But basically, nobody's really wearing masks anyway. If somebody tells you to put on a mask, just do it. Just do it. But it's rare that that's going to happen. Going into a 7-Eleven, going into a shopping mall, hospital, yeah, you're gonna have to strap up. But generally, walking out around town, not gonna be a problem. And hey, we got a shout out to my boy Richie Mack. Zoom to Thailand is in the chat.
Oh wow, yeah, welcome, man. I'm a fan of his, man. I wish I had those type of fancy equipment and videos like that, man. I don't have I'm just a boots on the ground, just a raw type of guy, but everybody has their niche, man. I really like his editing and everything like that. It's almost like watching a TV show.
We talk about it all the time, man. Richie got to put in work, you know, and I give him hell because I'm lazy. I just get to do daily life videos. I ain't got to do all that work. Again, the rewards come with all that work. You know, we got a crazy subscriber base. You know, his channels, his videos just absolutely kill the game. So I appreciate all that work. I'm glad someone out there is out there grinding.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I never even prepared for the success I've had. So, you know, maybe later on down the line, I might get me a video editor, but probably not. I think I just appeal to, you know, just the regular guys, man.
To me, you got the flow, bro. I wouldn't change a thing. I just keep doing you, man. Yeah. It's working. It's working.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not. If it ain't broke, I'm certainly not gonna break it. Yeah. But yeah, I find that a compliment that he's on his live stream, man. I'm really a big fan of his. And a lot of guys, man, they were trying to make me. They were sending me stuff talking about is his woman a lady boy and all that. I was like, look, man. Don't come to me with that kind of stuff, man. You know, that's hating. You know, leave that stuff alone. Leave it off my channel, man.
Yeah, that's ignorance from people who never got out of their own hometown or out of the basement. I don't worry about them. But yeah, my boy Richie, man, he's the most down to earth cat. If you could get him in here, man, I don't know if you can do it right now, but that'd be cool as hell. You get him in here. But yeah, Richie, man, he is the coolest cat, man. He is a very chill dude. He loves everybody.
I'm on my phone, man, and see if I just click off here, I'm gonna lose the live stream. If I was on my laptop, it would be different. I could do it.
Get him on next time. Y'all need to connect. Matter of fact, if Richie don't mind, he can tell me. He can hit me up on WhatsApp and let me know. But I'll get y'all connected on WhatsApp.
Yeah. Now let me ask you something. Is he here in Pattaya?
Yeah, he lives here in Pattaya, but he bounces back and forth between here and LA and does his thing. But yeah, he lives here in Pattaya.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we had that discussion yesterday. I keep saying it wrong. What's the correct pronunciation?
Pattaya,
brother.
Pattaya. But
Pattaya.
Again, like we talked about it, man. If you say Pattaya, somebody gonna know what the hell you're saying. Don't get caught. Thais don't care. But for some reason, all the foreigners here get freaked out. Oh, you saying it wrong. You say Thais can give a damn. They know what you're saying. They understand you. So I don't know. I don't know why they make such a big deal out of it. It's not a big deal.
Oh, okay. Brenda says, what's behind me? I'm sitting on the beach, and this is where you can rent the beach umbrella, and you can rent the chair and table. I'm renting this for 100 baht for the whole day. So if I was staying out here the whole day, I'm on my beach chair, my lounge chair rather. I've got the umbrella here and my table for 100 baht for the whole day. You see, that's why I'm telling you that it seems like my money goes further over here. I don't know why. I'm getting that feeling because I'm getting like a quality for my money.
Agreed.
Again, I
Agreed.
want to shout out my buddy Jeffrey Tedder over there in Okinawa, Japan. He hooked me up with Mr. Lee, the Thai guy, the fly guy. This guy knows everything over here, man. He's my chauffeur, my bodyguard, tour guide. You know, if I was into women, he knows where the women are. You know, but I've got a committed relationship over there, so I couldn't really taste any of the flavor over here. Chocolate Man. I would have loved to. We walked through a couple of those places, man. Honey 2. He said they got a Honey 3 now, and you know we watched some of the shows, man. It's just something new. I may never. Yep. There's no telling when I'll be back over here, so I wanted to do something, like that, just to put it in my. So when I'm 80 years old, I can, pull that memory out.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, Jeffrey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Because I think if you're a new guy coming to Thailand like me, I needed that. I needed a guy picking me up at the airport because, man, I was like somebody just going overseas for the first time. I don't know why Thailand was intimidating to me for some reason. I've been all over the world. But when I said I was going to Thailand, man, I got scared, man. My hands got to sweating. And Jeffrey said, I got the hookup for you, man. I'm going to have him meet you at the airport, take you to the hotel, take you to Pattaya, take you back, take you to the airport. And, man, I needed that, man. You really, you don't know what that meant to me, Jeffrey.
That is awesome that he did that for you. And like I said, for some folks, man, having a tour guide, especially if you're by yourself, never been over here, that is not a bad idea at all. It's completely worth the money. It's like they're going to take you to some places, let you see some things that everybody else usually tries to get into, but they don't really know about. Like, hey, this is what I was trying to do, but I didn't know about it. That's where a tour guide is like, hey, I know what you're looking for. I'm going to get you over here. I'm going to show you all the tourist hot spots, And if you get tired of that, okay, fine. We're going to go over here and try something different. So, yeah, you did it the right way. Having Lee drag you around, very smart. If you didn't have nobody to hook up with or trust, that's the way to do it.
That's right. And the one thing I wanted him to do, really, and he's done it, a fabulous job, is take me around to the best Thai food.
Yep. Because
I didn't want to leave here without eating Thai food. I haven't eaten this well in probably a decade, and that includes in wherever I've been. This has been one of the best food experiences that I can remember. Everything that I've eaten. And then if you don't want Thai food, they've got IHOP, Sizzler, Starbucks. They've got all the other, things you used to. KFC. I seen the KFC over here at the Central Marina Mall.
So,
but I didn't come all the way over here for no damn KFC.
Nah, man. There's too many other options, But yeah, they got all the Western fast food garbage that you want, but yeah, there's so many other options. The mom and pop shops are by far that's the best food you're going to get ever. Is little mom and pop shops. They always have the best food.
He said the water tigers, M and K said, what type of Thai food? I've tried the beef Penang, I believe that's what it's called. The pad Thai.
Like curry.
A lot of the stuff, I don't know what it was. Mr. Lee, he was ordering. But I had this soup last night, this fish soup that's supposed to be like, every Thai person eats it, man. It's spicy as hell, but it's got this lemony taste to it. That was delicious, man.
Probably
the fish was just unbelievably tender. And of course, we went to some seafood place in Bangkok and we had the crab cakes. We had, just the red curry. It's just a few things I can remember. Most of that stuff, I didn't know what it was. I just know it was good. And this is a place where you probably gonna have to learn Thai because a lot of the signage is in Thai. It's not in English, right?
Yeah, in the smaller
Chocolate Man?
areas, but usually there's an English translation for the important stuff. So that's a good thing. There is English where you need it usually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you will.
that restaurant the after hours place we went last night is
No
Thai.
English. Yeah, no
Even
English. Yeah,
even when
you
I
will
went
run
into the bank, when I went into the government savings bank, they gave me the form to fill out to get my money, right?
Yeah.
Everything was in Thai. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to fill this shit out? I don't know how to read this.
Yeah, they
And
should have
it
taken.
was a
He should have taken
catastrophe.
you to Bangkok Bank. I don't know why he took you to a GSB. He definitely should have taken you to Bangkok Bank or a Casa Corn. Again, places that are used to dealing with foreigners. So I know it's all good. That's all part of the learning experience. What to do here. So it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, Brandon, man, I'm gonna tell you, dude, I'm on here. I'm on my phone. I can't give you the view of this place. I tried to give y'all the view, but it's too bright. I'm
Can you
not
turn
looking
your
at
camera
anything. Really,
around?
I'm making sure that, I'm just looking. I'm just, I'm on a beach or, and I'm just looking. That's all. You ain't missing out on nothing.
Yeah, Calvin,
Trust
can
me.
you reverse your camera?
Yeah, I keep my head on
Yeah,
the swivel, man. It's just how I am, man. I grew up in the hood. You better keep your head on the damn swivel. Danny Jackson said, "Hope to see you in August, Chocolate Man."
For sure, I'll be around.
Yeah, these guys, they're over in Japan.
Okay, I love Japan now.
Yeah, start.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
place I
starting to
can't
rain
afford, but I
out here,
love Japan.
man.
Don't get wet.
Hey, I wanna thank everybody for your super chat, super stickers, your thumbs up. I want to thank you, Chocolate Man. I tell you what, brother, I could have talked to you all night yesterday. I see why your channel is growing, why it's so popular, man. You got a great conversation, and you give out a lot of good, pertinent information, what I call boots on the ground information that we need. You know, uh, I don't. My videos aren't about all the glitz and glamour all the time because it's not all that all the time over here. Sometimes you got to know where to go and exchange your money. Sometimes you got to know where to go, to buy a
Yeah,
phone card.
yeah.
Yeah,
That information is gold, man. It's worth its weight in
it
gold.
is.
Yeah, you got to put that stuff out there.
It's not always bikinis and booty. Although I talk about it because I've got 95% of my viewers are men. I'm gonna give them something tonight. I'm getting ready to upload this walking street in full color.
Mm-hmm.
But
I can't wait till they see
you
it.
know, yeah, normally I just, I give you the nitty gritty, man, what to look out for to keep you out of trouble over here, so you can live your best life. Because that's what it's all about. You didn't come over here to get in trouble.
No.
What he say? He said he watched you get blown up by Transformers. That was crazy.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we had a storm the other night, and there was some transformers right next to my apartment that were just exploding. I did a little quick video on it, but yeah, it was wild, man. And then that happens during the storms. You get transformers that pop off, but man, they quick with it with the fix. Like I lost power for about 30 minutes and got it right back. So, like in the Philippines, I used to get brownouts all damn day long. Here, I've never had. That's the longest I ever had my power go out was 30 minutes. So, but yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah, well, this infrastructure here, it's like West. It's like a Western infrastructure to me. When I'm in Bangkok, I could be in Chicago, I could be in New York. It's no different to me. I didn't really see a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it's straight here, man. It's straight here. I love the internet here. I love, for the little bit of infrastructure that makes a difference to me, they got it. I'm covered. I feel comfortable here. Again, my only real drama in Thailand is driving. It's the only time it gets really weird for me here. Mike's
Yeah.
Wave, what up, man? That's a good dude.
Now this guy said, what's his name? Mike's
Mike's
Wave
Wave.
2 said, all the information that you given. He says he's bringing you a bottle of Crown Royal for your troubles, man, for your assistance. Some guy
Yeah.
had sent me, well, no, Jeffrey Taylor and Danny Jackson from Japan. They sent me, well, they sent it for John, this big bottle of Crown Royal, but he died. So I was giving it to, whenever one of my subscribers came over, I would give them a shot. Well, hell, I was sitting by the tennis court, and it was some VIPs, some Filipino VIPs. So I broke out the Crown Royal, man. They drank it all, because that's big time over there.
Good stuff, man.
So yeah, what's up, Texas Azoy? I'll be down your way, me and TJ, next month around the 4th of July. Let's hook up. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for all y'all support, man. Thanks again, Chocolate Man. We're gonna hook up again. I'll be back for sure. And I was glad to meet you, man. I mean, really. I wish we could have hung out, but my boy was with me last night, Mr. Lee, the Thai guy, the fly guy.
Yeah. Well,
he's my translator now, too, see.
Yeah, you've been here now, so I expect you to be back a little bit sooner.
Yeah. But okay, you guys, take care. Stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see y'all next time. Look for my walking street video I'm getting ready to upload when I go back to the hotel. I'm not even talking on it. We just, me and Mr. Lee, we just walking through, showing y'all, the spectacle is what it really is. And also, they're renovating the road through there. So half of it's like a dirt road now. Did you notice that, Chocolate Man?
I'm sorry. Yeah. There's a big drama here in the city about that hasn't been done yet, but they grinding as quick as they can. It's gonna be done, and by the time it's done, no one cares anymore. So
yeah, they're renovating the street. I'm showing people the construction is going on, but you're not gonna notice that anyway. You're gonna notice what you're gonna notice on this video, because I hardly get to do this type of videos where I'm from, and I'm damn sure not going to go to Manila. Manila, man, they'll make me go to jail up there with all that petty shit they be doing up there, man. But okay, man, thanks a lot, man. Have a safe trip to Phuket. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, I'm headed back. I'm gonna go get me some breakfast. Then we're probably gonna head back. I gotta pick up my laundry. We'll probably be heading back to Bangkok about 12:30, 1 o'clock. And then I fly back out to the Philippines in the morning. So, all right, man. Thanks again, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Good to meet you, man.
Okay.